Hey friends, it's Akidearest. So recently I just made a video where I went around Japan only speaking English, and that was just a way to show people of how hard or how easy it was to get around the country with only speaking English, or basically just not speaking any Japanese. So if you guys want to see that, you can. But in that video, I went to a store called Mandarake, and this is a secondhand shop that sells vintage items or used anime goods. But keep in mind that used in Japan, the quality is not the same as used like what I would see in the US. Especially for Mandarake, used for them basically means that it was just pre-owned, but they very rarely touched it. There's near to no damage to it. You wouldn't even be able to tell that something has been pre-owned. A lot of Mandarake stores kind of specialize in a different thing. So in that video, one of the ones that I went to specializes in used cards and used decks. So I kind of wanted to go in and see if I could ask to see old vintage first generation Pokemon cards. And in that video, I actually brought myself to buy it. You guys ready? Okay, this is a first generation Pokemon training card deck, and it is in just amazing condition. And if you guys want to know how much I bought it for, here's the price. 54,000 yen. So this is what the packaging looked like when I got home. Now keep in mind that this was made around the late 90s, and considering the fragility of this box, it's actually in really great condition. The packaging itself is no doubt really impressive. However, there was something I noticed within the plastic packaging on the back of the box. So hold on to your seats for this one. I found this bit of paper taped that I hadn't noticed before when I purchased it, and I thought that maybe it was some sort of certificate of eligibility or something, but it ended up being a note left by the previous owner. So I opened it and it read, "Welcome to Honkai Star Rail, a new multi-platform space fantasy RPG from HoYoverse, the makers of Genshin Impact, #sponsored. This cross-platform free-to-play game features amazing character design, character growth, an immersive story and worldviews, epic music, engaging battles, and fantastic voiceovers. What shines in this game is the unique art style and great characterization. Not only that, but each world has its own unique style that will keep the experience continually fresh as the game progresses. Beneath the distinct style of each world is the science fiction theme that makes this entire game cohesive while retaining individuality for each world. The turn-based combat mechanism battles are also a really refreshing experience. The richness of strategic matching brings diversity to gameplay, where different combat combinations create different experiences." Now, Honkai Star Rail is currently in the closed beta period. Check the pinned comment and link in my description to check out the game today and prepare for when it releases later in 2023. This game is going to be one of the biggest RPGs of 2023, and I'm pretty excited for it. Now, when I was growing up, I never saw anything like this. This may have just only been in Japan. But in katakana, it just says it's called an intro pack. Basically, this is just like your introduction to playing the Pokemon trading card games. Whoever had this before took really good care of it, because there is like near to no wear and tear on this. And the art is just like so nostalgic. Obviously, it's very different from how the art is today. You've even got like classic Pikachu up here. I'm kind of scared that I'm gonna damage something, so I'm gonna try my best to just be as careful with this as possible. Sorry guys, I know you want to look inside of it, but I kind of want to just show you guys how much this cost back then. So this is 1,980 yen. Before the inflation recently, this would have been like close to 20 bucks. That's more like 15 bucks. So it's jumped from 1,980 yen to a value of 54,000 yen. That's just insane. All right, so let's just open this right now. Oh my god. So you have kind of like just all the designs of the Pokemon here. Again, first generation, of course. So the first thing that it comes with is this little pamphlet. I'm guessing that this comes with the rules on how to play the game. It will kind of just like give a description of what you're gonna get in this box, how the game kind of works, how to read the cards, everything like that. This packet, still, this is just in amazing condition. Like, it almost looks like that this was never opened. And then the next thing that we have on top, I'm gonna guess that this is where you would play the card game. Now, it's very different from the playing mats that we have today that I think is kind of made out of like a thicker foam, but back then we used to use just like straight up paper. I'm so nervous handling this right now. I feel there is a better way. So looking at the mat now, this is in extraordinary condition considering how old this is. Let me put this in perspective. You're like 10 years old and you are living during the hype of Pokemon and you have all these Pokemon cards and you're playing with someone and you are playing it on thin paper. You can believe that that paper didn't last more than like 10 seconds. The fact that this is in this condition for this long is just insane. I'm almost 30 now and just looking at this is just so nostalgic. Now I had something almost exactly like this. Now not the same designs, but it was also made of paper. I also had like kind of an old computer game that you could play the Pokemon trading card games on. I'll put like some clips up here for you guys to see. Going back to the mat, so it has like a place for you to put your side cards. There's a part at the bottom called the bench where you would put your party, and next to that is basically the graveyard, but in Japanese they call it the trash pile, which is kind of mean, but this is where you would put all of the cards that are no longer playable in the game. And then in the center, of course, you have the battlefield where all of the magic happens, basically. Now, there is just a little tear at the top, which is about maybe like half a centimeter, which is honestly nothing. I remember mine was either crumpled up, torn up, bitten, I don't know, pissed on, whatever. I was playing this at such a young age. I don't know why they thought that this would ever stay in great condition, so I very rarely get to see playing mats like this, especially kept in such good condition like this. If I was a buyer, like let's say in America, and somebody gave me a vintage Pokemon playing mat made of paper and it was in amazing condition and it was just the playing mat, I would probably pay like, I don't know, 40-50 bucks for this, especially in that condition, just given that this is one of the first, if not the first intro pack to the Pokemon trading card game. This is just an amazing thing to have in such almost perfect condition. Continuing on with this Pokemon pack. Okay, so this is where the real magic starts. What a great system to have. Like the first thing you see is Blastoise versus Venusaur. Everyone knows that Blastoise would probably kick everyone's ass, but like Venusaur was actually my personal favorite. And in the middle, you've got the counters. This is so nostalgic. Oh my god. And Japanese Pokemon cards back then was like winning a golden ticket. Like seeing those was just so uncommon. So like whenever I go to a convention, I always kind of like give away stuff at my panel where it's like stuff from Japan. And one of the things I've given every now and then is Japanese Pokemon cards because I feel like that really brings the kid back in you again. So, and I think these are holographic. Yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god. They're holographic. I didn't even realize that. They look so good. I don't deserve this. I mean, I do because I bought it, but still. So we're gonna start off with the Venusaur deck. I don't know if this is all just grass type Pokemon, but that's why I'm just gonna go look through it. I don't think this person ever actually used this deck. I'm just gonna gently take off the plastic and I'm hoping and praying that I don't mess this up because I have had a pretty bad track record of dropping stuff, but for something like this, like I have to be actually serious with it. Like a glove. Yes. So the first card on here is Venusaur. I'm pretty sure that not all of these are going to be holographic. I think that it's just kind of like the cover piece because that's kind of how it was back then. You only got one holographic. Come on now, they're not that nice. I haven't seen old Pokemon cards in this condition for so long. All right, so we've got Bulbasaur. I don't think that this was the same design that we had back in the US. Drowsy, yes. Okay, this one pretty sure was the same as the Western one. In Japanese, his name was just called Sleep. Oh, and then we got some energy cards, of course. This is probably the most painful part at the time of opening a deck, but now that I'm opening it at like 30 because I don't have them anymore, there's more value put into it now that I'm seeing it. And then, oh, what was this one? I actually don't remember this card. Oh, but little Magnemite, he's so cute. Yes, okay, so Fat Pikachu. So I had a Pikachu card just like this one, and this specific design I think has been kind of brought back a couple of times. I do know that for the 25th anniversary Pokemon cards, they tried to go back to bringing some vintage designs, but this is an original vintage design of what the Pikachu card used to look like. And then you have this one. I think this is like returning your Pokemon. The fact that it says Pokemon Irekae, it's either you're switching your Pokemon or you're bringing your Pokemon back, but I think just even looking at this design, I think this is when you would switch them. This is Doduo, and in Japanese it's called Dodo. Okay, so here's Meowth, and what are you called? You're called Nyas in Japanese. I don't think that my Meowth looked nearly as cute. Okay, so here's another Bulbasaur. Wow, that art is so old. This one has a lot of Bulbasaurs. Oh, actually no, this is Ivysaur, sorry. I remember when I was a kid, for some reason I could never pronounce Ivysaur, and also mine looked a lot different from this. Well, look at Electabuzz here. It's kind of like almost like a kindergarten drawing. It's kind of cool though. This thing also has Jinx, which is kind of cool. I don't think I saw a proper like Jinx card growing up. I may have, but I don't remember it at all. But in Japanese, she's called Rujura. You know, I really do miss this artwork. Nowadays, like they really go super vibrant, super like over the top with their designs. Oh wow, look at this one. Is that Coughing? Wow, I've never seen this card before. That looks really cool. You know, Coughing is kind of a really difficult character for me anyway to make look cool and kind of cute, but they managed to do it with this design because I've never liked Coughing before. Oh, there's another Pikachu. I know it's kind of been overset a lot, but Pikachu was so much better fatter. So that was all the Pokemon in this deck. Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna need like a proper save for these because it's so small and I just don't think that I should be putting this casually on the shelf. Like the only other collectible that I bought a lot for from Mandarake was the Keyblade, the Bandai Keyblade. You guys can watch that video too if you want. But for small things like this, I don't think I should just be putting it up on here for whatever. I should get like a proper safe for these. And now for the real challenge is putting it back in here. Okay, after a million years, I finally got that thing in there perfectly. Now, before I go on to the next deck, I kind of want to show you guys the other little trinkets that it came with. So the first thing it came with was, I don't know what these are. They're not counters. I feel like these have to do with some sort of effect. I don't think that I had anything like this in my trading card deck, so I'll look that up to see what it is. Here is a flip coin, which was definitely something that my trading card kit came with. Mine, I don't think was Chansey. It was something else, but this is like a pink flip coin. The material I don't think is metal. I want to say that it's still kind of like cardboard-y from the way that it feels, but I'm just gonna put that back. And then these are the counters. So I have just realized that this is in a packet that the only way to open this is by ripping it open. So I'm gonna guess that whoever owned this never used it. Props to them that they managed to not have like the child in them like rip this to shreds, because I know I would have. Now I'm gonna go on to this second deck that it came with Blastoise on it. So I'm gonna guess that it comes with Squirtle and Wartortle, obviously. So I feel I have sort of become an expert at this now. Holographic Blastoise. This alone, I want to know how much this would go for. I'm gonna look this up later and throw it up here of how much just this single card is worth. It's funny because Blastoise when I was growing up wasn't really like my favorite. It was actually Venusaur at the time. Now I realize how much of a badass Blastoise is. Let's go on to the next card. Is that Wartortle? Oh my god, I love this art. Yeah, you see what I mean? Like one of the perks to having Pokemon cards was just enjoying the art. There was just so many different artists for Pokemon cards, and I feel like that there's just a lot of card games out there where the art is pretty consistent, but Pokemon was just like not afraid to try new things. Diglett, of course. You know, whenever you saw 3D art as a kid, it always made you just like super happy because it's like, whoa, it's in 3D, it's CGI. And I don't know why they gave it to Diglett of all Pokemon that you could have tested CGI with. Oh, and then we got Poliwag here. Super cute. Exactly the same as the one that I had as a kid. And we also have a Sparrow. Looking closely at it, it looks like that this is also done on the computer. So again, I feel Pokemon kind of used the cards to sort of practice with just different styles at the time. Oh, here's a Growlithe card that I've actually never seen before. I don't think we had anything like this. He's so cute. I love Growlithe. Oh, what is that? Nandemo Naoshi. Don't know what this is. I don't think I had this. I will throw it up for you guys when I find it. Oh, another Wartortle. I can never say his name. Wartortle, the way that the song says it. They also have Jigglypuff, which in Japanese was called Pudding, which I think that's super cute. I didn't know that because Pudding, I'm pretty sure, is supposed to be like pudding. And then we have Squirtle. Squirtle, I think this is the same artist that made Wartortle. Oh my gosh, here's another Squirtle. I love this art. And what's he talking to? I don't think he's really talking to another Pokemon. I think he's just like chilling on the road there. Yo, go. Look at Arcanine. Now, not as cute, but much more badass. Look, it's my boy Machop. I'm pretty sure that the drawing rate for these was like insane. I remember having like 20 of these and it almost got super annoying of how many freaking Machops there were. But there was like no Machamps. It was actually ridiculous. But now that I have this, I feel like I'm gonna take much more care of it. That's kind of the thing about nostalgia. You don't really understand its value until it's gone. I guess you could say that about life. We're learning important life things from Pokemon cards. Oh, I should have expected it. So the last deck had Electabuzz. This one comes with Magmar. Why is the art for Magmar like so much better than Electabuzz? Can we have like a comparison of the two? And yeah, it looks like that's pretty much everything in the deck. Everything else was basically just energy cards and training cards. You know, I really love the Blastoise holographic, but I think the previous deck was cooler. I think I really liked the Venusaur deck a lot more. So that is the intro pack for the Pokemon trading card game that I bought for 54,000 yen. Now, you guys tell me if you guys think that this is worth the price. If you ask me, I think that this is worth it because even though I am not the most extreme Pokemon collector out there, I mean, I just collect an immense amount of plushies. That's pretty much the extent of what I do. But considering what this is, right? Considering how long it's been kept in the shelf, considering that it has been near to never used as far as I can tell, and that it's kept in such good condition, you have to keep in mind, this is an intro pack to the trading card game. This is probably near, if not the beginning of Pokemon, one of the biggest franchises of all time. And I would say 54,000 yen, which is like what, like 400 something bucks? Yeah, totally worth it. I know I can't stress it enough, but the fact that they still have like the playing mat in there and the paper one and it's kept in such good condition, that's still just crazy to me. I don't know if I'm ever gonna sell this again, but if I do, hopefully the value will go up. I don't know. Now, I would like to assume that there is a decent amount of you that agree with me that this thing was worth every penny that I spent for it. But of course, there's maybe some of you that disagree with me, and that's fine. I appreciate your opinion, even though it's wrong. But since we're on the topic of how much this thing was worth, I wanted to double check just to see how much this was going for on like eBay and stuff like that. So I'm on eBay right now, and there's actually a decent amount of people that are selling this, but for double the price of what I bought it for. For this one, this is the exact same thing that I have. It's the Pokemon intro pack made in 1998. It's a Japan exclusive, and it's being sold for $1,500. Did the person just not tag my thing right? Do they even know what this is? Did I just win the jackpot? Let's look further into this photo. If we actually zoom in on what it says up here, it says 1998 VHS movie with a VHS. When I saw that, I was like, oh, what now? A VHS? You guys saw that, right? There was nothing in there. Can we just look at this one more time? I realize this is the Kingdom Hearts book. I just wanted to show off that it's also a protective cover. I'm so smart. Now, if memory serves me correct, that is pretty much the size of a VHS. But as you guys saw earlier, there was no VHS to be found in here, so what happened? Well, looking further into the photo, if you guys turn it on its side, there are two boxes. There's one on the left, which is the one that I have with the Squirtle silhouette, but the box on the right with all the text must be the VHS, which this didn't come with. Man, I felt so good about having this. You ever get one of those moments where you're like, I have something that you don't, therefore I'm better than you. But then your ego just gets smashed when you realize that there's like 15 or 20 other people with the same thing, but better. No, legit, like there are people that are not only just selling this, but with the VHS. I was like, oh my God, what happened with the VHS? Did the person who was selling it just like lose it? Or did they not feel like selling it? This thing is still cool, but I just, you know, I had a moment where I was gonna be like, I have a thing that you don't have, and now I'm just like, oh my God, I'm jealous of that thing that you have and I don't. This thing is still cool. If the VHS is somewhere out there being sold separately, I will probably get it, but I'm not really that beat up about it. I'm still glad that I bought this, and it is gonna go back in my Kingdom Hearts box. But yeah, the point that I wanted to make is that, yeah, looking at how much that these are going for in a set, knowing that this is by itself without the VHS, I guess, yeah, 50,000 yen. It seems about right. It looks like that the person who was selling this knew their stuff. They knew exactly how much this was worth, and it turns out that they probably knew that the VHS wasn't with it. That's why I bought it for essentially almost half the price that these other guys did. Does that still make me cool? Maybe not to them, but oh well, that's life. Right, now anyways, back to me. I appreciate you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!